Hey, hello everybody. Good afternoon or good morning or good evening, depending upon your time zone. I'm Dave Rubenstein, Editor-in-Chief of SD Times, and I would like to welcome you to today's webinar titled Creating Value with Mobile Real-Time Data Capture. Before we get started and into it, I just have a couple of brief housekeeping announcements. First, today's session will be followed by a live Q&A. So at any point during the presentation, just go to the questions tab on your control panel, type it in, hit submit, and we will get to as many as time allows. Secondly, this is being recorded and will be available on demand on sdtimes.com in the next day or so. And you can play it over and over again to your heart's content, share with your friends, send it to your mom, whatever you want to do, and it'll be there for your listening pleasure. Okay, so as I said, today's webinar is about creating value with mobile real-time data capture. And why should you care? Because some data shows that 56% of online shoppers say they'll abandon a shopping cart because of the problem of collecting data during the final part of the process. Now, here to talk about that and ways to solve that problem are people from ABBYY Mobile Technologies. First, we have Derek Gerber, and he represents the company's data capture, digital transformation, and natural language processing technologies. And Semyon Serginin, who's the product group, SDK product group head, who helps the team build next generation solutions with ABBYY's AI technology for OCR. And I will now turn it over to Derek to take away and lead us in the program. Derek?
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We're very excited today. Thank you again for your time. We're very honored and very humbled to be here. But yes, as David was saying, you know, we often run into many scenarios where there is data capture and data input challenges, and shopping may just be one of them. They're one of the things that we can all relate to. But as we jump into the next slide, I'll walk you through just a little bit of context about what ABBYY does. So ABBYY's been around for almost 30 years. Roughly on over 100 million devices worldwide. And currently, through our research, we've discovered that we're processing roughly 10 billion pages per year. And when I mean processing, I mean we're capturing and extracting data and applying context to different input methodologies and different forms and functions. So whether you're shopping, whether you're at a bank and you're doing customer onboarding, whether you're a patient and you're trying to get into a new doctor's office and uploading your personal information into an EHR, for example. There's literally an infinite number of possibilities in which we can discuss. But yes, today, I mean, we're really going to focus on how we can implement our mobile SDK technologies in different scenarios in order to help build that additional value. So we work with ISVs, we work with BPOs, we work in banking and finance, in legal, in healthcare, you name it. There's a lot of very creative applications for this technology. So while we showcase some ideas here, we highly encourage you to join in and ask some questions. But as you see here on this next slide, ABBYY is currently saving roughly 1 billion man hours of manual data entry per year. So I'm going to say it again, 1 billion hours a year of typing in credit card information, typing in patient data information, driver license information, VIN numbers on your vehicles, receipt capture information. So infinitely, you know, name it, if there's text on something, we can extract it and put it into a system or make context out of it so that we can make better business decisions. So why do we do these things? Well, there's a $49.6 trillion millennial industry around the corner in 2025. So when we say that, we're talking about combined income, spending, and roughly the greatest transfer of assets in the history of man. So there's a lot of, well, me, I'm actually a millennial myself. So everything that I do is automated, especially on mobile devices, which is why this is so important today. So instead of taking 57 different slides to talk about how great ABBYY is, I'd like to start passing it over to Semyon, who can walk us through these technologies and understand how we can better engage these users in order to accelerate transactions and accelerate our time to revenue during the customer onboarding process and in a number of other different ways. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Semyon.
Thank you, Derek. So let's talk about technology specifically. Here's our task. Let's say our user has some information stored either in the paper document, it could be a paper form, contract, map, menu, paper receipt, anything. or on some cards like bank cards, gift cards, ID cards, or it could be even an environmental scene like a street sign or even like gas meter. And you want user to be able to capture this information using his smartphone, and after capturing this data could be used for completing transaction or translating to another language or just guiding user to any next step in the process of using your application. And we've seen dozens of different use cases for this technology, and if you have some new ideas and you want to check if technology will work, just come over to us and let's discuss it. Today I'll show you how we can do this mobile capture through the mobile phone, few different ways, and then I'll show you how we implemented our technology for some use cases. And also I will give you some tips how you can start using our technology today. First, there are two ways to implement mobile capture. The first way, when you use mobile phone as a capture device, you take pictures and then you do the actual processing, the data extraction on the server side, or it might be cloud side. The advantage of this approach is that using then almost unlimited resources on the backend side, you can process documents of any complexity and extract a lot of information at the same time. But at the same time, you need to a network connection, and you need to make sure that user won't wait too long to get the results back. There's another approach when you do all the processing on the mobile phone and user can see what's actually happening on the mobile phone. But because of limitations of the mobile technology, you cannot process really large documents. So I'll show you both of these approaches, and let's start with the first one, when we take a picture on the mobile phone and send it to the server. Here is our mobile receipt capture demo. For this demo, we will use a demo mobile application which has integrated ABBYY imaging technology for mobile phones. And also I will use ABBYY Cloud on the backend side to process the receipts. So let me switch to my phone so you can see what I'm actually doing. You can see my phone, and here is our demo app for receipts. And I have a receipt here. So what I'm doing, I'm taking a picture of this receipt. And you can see this green edge around the receipt. I can click on use photo and my receipt will be cropped automatically. And then it was also converted to grayscale image, better for processing. And also I apply special receipt preset filtering, which improve my recognition results. And now I'm just sending this receipt to ABBYY Cloud. And what happens on the cloud, we're doing the full text OCR on this receipt. And then we parse this receipt, finding the vendor name. Here's the information. I found vendor name, date of the receipt, total amount, type of credit card, and also I captured these line items, so you can see them here. Okay, so that's the demo, and let me turn back to the presentation so I can describe what actually happened here. On the mobile side, we used mobile imaging SDK integrated within this demo app to take a picture, and then with this technology we can check the quality of the picture automatically to make sure that we don't have blur or the quality of images is good enough for recognition. And then we apply technology for auto cropping, for automatic filtering and binarization of the image. And then we also compress the image before sending it to the server. On the server side, we additionally check the image quality and applied document analysis, which means that we analyze the image, understand the type of this document, and apply special algorithms to identify the different objects on this picture. And then we did full text recognition, reading all the text on this receipt. And after text was available, we did this parsing. So we analyzed different types of data on the receipt and identified the vendor name, the total amount. And we also applied certain automatic verification rules. For example, you want to make sure that your total amount is actually a number. And when you verify this data is ready for export, and we send it back as structured data to the mobile phone, so user can verify data additionally and then use this data, for example, for the expense management application. That's one use case. Another one, when we do everything on the mobile phone. So let me show how it works. And here I want to introduce our latest mobile real-time recognition technology. And the release that I'm going to show you is really something that we released literally last week. So you will be one of the first people who will see that. Here's the technology. Let me switch back to my phone and pick this receipt, this RTR demo. And that is also just a demo application to illustrate the technology. All these technologies are available as SDKs, so you can integrate them within your applications. And first of all, I want to show you how I can read the text on the fly. So you can see I just hold the phone and it reads text automatically. And when it also calculates the confidence level of extract the text. And when confidence level is high enough, it stops processing. So when I click for the first time, you see it works pretty quickly. But you can see that it's trying to recognize, and then when it's done, it stops recognizing. And we support multiple languages, not just English. You can see the long list of languages here. It's all a part of demo app. And after this webinar, we can make this demo app available for you. Now, let me show what else can we do with this technology. That was full text recognition. And I can use this for capturing information from the bank card. So I hold my card here, and you can see the data was extracted. Let me show you again how quickly it was done. So you can see that we extracted all the data, expiration date and name, and the card number needed for the processing. Another example would be, we have some information from ID documents to be captured here, like MRZ line. And let me show you passport capture. Passport has a lot of different data here, and it's a fake sample passport. So let me do it again here. You can see I'm just holding the phone, and it validates the data. And I was able to capture date of birth and name, first name, last name, and also MRZ line. That's a line in the bottom of the passport. And now it's all data is available for identity verification, for example. I can also show you more typical document like a driver license. So, and we also support multiple documents here in this demo app. So I select the California driver license. You probably know this person, right? So I also captured information that was necessary: date of birth, first name, last name, and license number. And you can see that it happens instantly on the mobile phone, so users can see and feel what's actually going on with their capture process. And now I want to show you one more feature here. We can also, in addition to certain pre-trained document types and capturing all the text, I can also capture specific fields based on their format. Here it's called custom capture feature, and I can specify the regular expression, and based on this regular expression I will pick up only those fields which fit this regular expression. So let me show you another fake document. That's W2, and I just hold it and let it find the field that I am looking for. You can see that I was looking for employee ID. It has a special format, and my technology ignored everything else and picked up just this one field. Okay. So I'm done with my presentation, and let me go back to my slides and describe you how it actually works. So what we're doing here, we're analyzing the stream of video frames, and we do OCR on each frame separately. And then we merge the OCR results on all of these frames to get to higher accuracy. So you can see here on this example, we process 3 frames. We've never recognized word hello correctly, but when we merge all these results, we finally got to the right recognition result. This is very powerful technology, and as I said, we calculate confidence level, and at the end we can say when our results are confident enough, so we can stop processing and give these results back to the user with the highest possible accuracy. A few words about some other tools we have available. I showed you Cloud OCR SDK. We used it for processing receipt on the cloud. We can also do text recognition in general and document conversion, converting image documents to PDFs or Word, Excel, Microsoft Office files. On the mobile side, I showed you Mobile Imaging SDK. That's the technology which we use for cropping and cleaning the image before sending it to the server. And also real-time recognition SDK, when we were able to read text from the video stream. We also have very powerful server-based OCR and document conversion technology called FineReader Engine. That's our flagship product. It's used in multiple applications, integrated with enterprise capture solutions and bundled with very many capture devices. And we also have very powerful flexi capture technology. That's intelligent capture, when you can specify document format, and it will extract data from all kinds of forms, semi-structured documents like invoices, and pretty much any document you can define through this tool. And we also have a set of tools also for data extraction and document classification using semantic analysis and natural language processing. I'm talking about Smart Classifier and Info Extractor products. And now, right after this webinar, you can get access to our technology. For real-time recognition SDK, you can just go online to rtrsdk.com and download this SDK and start using it. We also will send you a demo app that I showed you, so you can play with this technology and don't even need to develop anything. For Cloud OCR SDK, we prepared a special promo code. Also, after this webinar, you can go online to ocrsdk.com, use this promo code to get access to 5,000 pages. And usually our trial is 50 pages, so it's 100 times more. And you can start developing your applications and connecting it to the cloud. And as I said, cloud has very powerful functionality. It's not just OCR. It can also process business cards, receipts, and convert documents and do other things. And we also developed a special technology portal. And this technology portal gives you access to detailed descriptions of all technologies we have, code samples, technical documentations about all our products, and a lot of other information. So feel free to use all these tools. And now I turn over to Derek.
Right.
To invite you to our technology summit.
Yes, so I say we just gave you a few different ways to get started with the technology for free right now. And again, you know, there's some nice little hookups in there, but we want you to be able to get started, play with the technology, try it for yourself. But if you want to show up in person and do it, well, here at the end of October, we're going to have our annual ABBYY Technology Summit, and you can see in the top left, hashtag ABBYY Summit 17. And the reason we want to talk about this, even if you can't show up, still go online and search this content, because we're going to upload videos from our sessions, the PowerPoints, as we do every year. So if you actually want to see what we've done before, go online and again search for hashtag ABBYY Summit 16 for last year's content. So again, we're going to be doing the same thing this year. We're going to have about 200 people from 15 different countries. This year we're having 2 major keynotes, and we're having 3 different tracks, one of them solely dedicated to developers and SDK-minded people who are looking for more technical presentations, who want to dive in deep. But then again, we're going to give you the ability to get hands-on the technology, try it for yourself, play with it. So if you don't go online, you can show up here. If not, go online and check out the videos and the PowerPoints that we'll be uploading within the week or 2 after the event. But then we're also going to be flying in our leading developers and product engineers who develop these products. So if you want to set up one-on-one meetings, if you want to get in touch with the business leaders that are driving ABBYY, well, we can set up those meetings for you, and we'd love to have those conversations. And just to reiterate, we work with the smallest developers and the largest in the world. So again, you know, there's a lot of different ways to connect with us, but we want to be the catalyst and the onboard to building new value into your applications and solutions for your clients and your partners as well. And with that, that'll be the end of it. So I believe we're going to hand it back over to David and now take your questions.
Yep, great. Thanks, Derek. So let me just go right to the questions, and you guys jump in with the appropriate answers. So the first question is, what languages do you support for your different mobile technologies, and how does this differ from your server and cloud technologies?
Yeah. So, I mean, you want to take that one, or you want me to answer it?
I can take this one, yes. So for our mobile technology, currently we support 63 languages. And for our server technology, we support over 200 languages. Actually, we're updating our mobile technology soon, and it will also, the language support will be extended to over 200 languages.
Mm-hmm. And actually, one thing I want to add to that, for the receipt capture demonstration that you just saw, I believe we have country support, right? We don't label it by language in that regard.
Yes, that's right. So when we are talking about receipts, we're talking specifically on supporting certain countries. And right now, it's around 15 countries supported.
All right.
Excellent. So, you know, for me, I was hoping that you could summarize the differences again between what you can do on mobile alone versus mobile plus server and or cloud from ABBYY.
Yeah. Let me start off, and then Simeon, why don't you give your thoughts on that too. But for what we just watched today, what he just demonstrated, you saw in that first demo with Receipt Capture SDK, we had a mobile component that brought the image into the phone and enhanced it. So that was one piece of technology that you saw right there. But then when it goes up into the cloud, we were able to extract all the different line items, the vendor, the credit card used, the total amount. All of that was done up in the power of the cloud. Now, could you do that on device? Well, yeah, but that takes a lot of processing and resources from the phone to do that, and it's actually a slower, not as enjoyable experience. And so if you want to draw the line between what's possible, again, Receipt Capture SDK was using a combination of mobile image enhancement technologies and the cloud, But for the real-time recognition demonstration, that one's really exciting and the most intuitive that we're offering, because that is the most modern way for data input and capture, because that's using live video stream OCR. So typically when you're shooting video on your phone, you're shooting about 30 to 60 frames per second. But in this process, we're taking about 5, maybe 15 frames of that, merging it together in real time and extracting that data so that you immediately have an output without ever taking the photo. So the photo doesn't go up into the cloud to get processed. It's being done right there in the live video stream, and that's really the difference. So if you're looking to just capture a really quick line item, or a long number that's complicated to type in, like a social security number or a bank card number, well let's use real-time recognition in that instance to input that data to avoid having to type anything, and again automate that process of input. But if you need the full extraction, well then let's bring in the power of the cloud. So I mean, it's more about what makes sense to you in each scenario, but we offer the flexibility and the scalabilities to allow you to choose what's best.
Excellent. All right, another attendee wants to know what operating systems are supported.
Yeah, you want to take that one, Simeon?
Sure. So when we're talking about our server technology, we support Windows, Linux, and Mac operating systems. But when you use our cloud, you can definitely implement solutions on any operating system. It could be mobile, it could be any embedded device, as soon as it can send requests through REST API to the cloud and parse the results. And on mobile phone, we support iOS and Android platforms. So the real-time recognition technology that I showed, that's available for both.
All right, thank you. So I'd just like to remind our attendees that if they have any questions, now's the time to type it in. And again, we'll get to as many as time will let us handle. Moving on. So the question is, why are there different mobile SDKs instead of just all-in-one from ABBYY?
Yeah, well, let me start with that one. So just like we talked about, again, we just had 2 different instances with receipt capture, where we want to capture the entire document, process it as fast as we can, throw as much resources as we can to extract that data as accurately as possible per field confidence levels that we desire in order to extract and then verify that information. But then again, if you want to talk about the differences between the receipt capture SDK and the real-time recognition SDK, well, they're 2 different input methods. And what's great about the RTR side of things, the real-time recognition side of things, is that there's no verification needed in that process. So again, we're taking the receipt capture and putting it up into the cloud to use the power of the cloud to give it back to us in just a few seconds. But that's an entirely different process, because we need all this data and it needs to be verified and captured correctly the first time. But with real-time recognition, the idea is that we would implement that SDK differently and then do something else with it for easy upfront data capture to offer better premium self-service options for our clients. So what really is the difference between why aren't they all just one? Well, because we're trying to offer, again, that flexibility and the scalability to keep the memory input low, so that, again, we can easily integrate and just be another cog in your system to allow for these functionalities to take place in the way that you need them. And that's why there's a separation between these different SDKs.
Excellent. So following up with that, somebody wants to know if the SDKs can be implemented on any device with a camera, or only a smartphone or a tablet?
Yeah, well, that one's exciting too, because yeah, we showed a mobile phone here today, but it could be any tablet with the camera or any other machine with the camera, just as we mentioned, and we would start getting into machine vision there. But if you think about it from that instance, we have particular clients who are using different cameras from different different input methods, let's just say, to easily, well, I'm going to go through a few examples here, so I don't want to get too convoluted, but we're using cameras to test the infotainment systems inside of cars. So again, we're not using a mobile phone or tablet in that instance, but what we're doing is testing different output languages and different UI messages going across screens and make sure that it's actually coming in. And we're not using, again, a mobile phone or tablet. They're actually using a physical camera to take the photo, and then the software goes in and makes sure that everything is okay. But then another instance where you're on a conveyor belt in terms of a manufacturing facility, and you want to make sure that the can that is going by has the right packaging label on it, that the label is not torn. Those instances are, again, just another camera sitting on a conveyor belt, not a mobile phone or tablet. But again, it's the same exact concept of input and extraction to understand what is happening. And just one more example, so let's say you have a car and you're driving down the street, and I can't confirm or deny that someone else is doing this because of NDAs, but there's the ability to capture license plates, to check for registration, to check for parking violations. And again, that's not a mobile phone or tablet. That's just a camera mounted on a car, and then inputting that data into the software so it can be recognized and captured and used as needed in those different situations. So it's very flexible, but again, you don't just have to have one of these smart devices to do it. Any input image is really what we're discussing here, that we can take and process that as needed.
Okay. All right, we have time for just a couple more questions. So the next question in the queue, do the technologies get better over time with machine learning, or do I need to constantly update templates on my own?
Yeah, Simeon, why don't you take that one?
So right now we're implementing machine learning capabilities into our Flexi Capture technology, and that means that with the latest release of Flexi Capture engine, you're able to train these templates on the fly. So basically, user can show which fields they want to extract, and then technology will learn how to do it automatically. It's not happening on the mobile phones yet. It's based on our server products, but yes, these capabilities are available already.
Okay. Next question up is, can I consolidate vendors and use a combination of SDKs, services, and solutions in one application with ABBYY?
The answer is 100% yes. And we've come from enough events to tell you that when people are looking for these sort of technologies, they find themselves looking at different vendors. They look at open source technologies. They look at other niche players, and they try to make all these things work together. And what makes ABBYY unique is that we bring all these things together. So again, this is Software Developers Times webinar today, right? So we're focused on SDKs and APIs and things like that. But the reality is it goes so much deeper than that. We're just talking about data extraction technologies today, but we offer SDKs, front to back, full-time services for us to do the work for you if you need. But then we also have the enterprise applications that are ready out of the box to do what you need to do. So again, we have a lot of different functionalities and flexibilities across all these different lines, but the idea is to do what makes sense for you and to, again, consolidate vendors so that you're not running around trying to fit things together all on your own, is that you can come to one place, one company, one ABBYY, and get it all done with us. And so that's what makes us unique. But then again, our technology is proven, it's very accurate, and I'm not talking bad on anybody else in the industry, but I believe that we offer the best strengths of SDK services and solutions powered by AI, machine learning, and natural language processing, and that's what makes us unique.
Excellent. Okay, we'll take one final question, and then we'll go back to you guys for your final thoughts. The question would be, how are the licensing models structured for deployment on mobile?
Yeah, Simeon, why don't you take that one?
When we talk about licensing for mobile, we usually give your an opportunity to try technology for free and use it up to a certain amount. And when you see the value from this technology, we'll start talking about licensing. And when we do that, we really keep in mind what you actually do with this app and how do you offer it to your customers. If it's free app, it might be one model. If it's a paid app, it's a different model. If it is a corporate application or a part of some bigger service, we may offer something else. So it's really very custom, and it depends on how you use, and we're trying to meet your needs in terms of licensing.
Very, very good. All right, so Simeon and Derek, if you can take 30 seconds for final takeaways, or attendees, if you leave them with one thought from today's webinar, what that would be. And Derek, let's start with you.
Yeah, well, look, I know we just covered a lot of things today, but if I can leave you with anything, is that ABBYY is here to help be the catalyst and the onboard to innovation and intuitive processes, not only for you and your internal business processes, yes, but more for your clients. And again, as we talked about on some of the first slides, there's a huge millennial industry coming around the corner, and it's actually already here. So if you're not investing in these technologies, and if you're not road mapping your success in the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to have a bad time. And so we want to be here in your corner, not to just be an SDK vendor, say, here, give us a quarter, here's an SDK, go have fun. No, we want to be your solution consultants, your technology advisors, and your trusted partner moving forward. So again, we have a lot of different ways to cover this, and all I could say is please reach out to us, please go online and get your hands on this technology and try it for yourself. And then when you're ready, when it makes sense for you, give us a call and we'll take care of you.
Great.
And I can add to this first that we're really focused on working with developers and then constantly enhancing our technology. So we're really open to hear your ideas, what you can use right now or what you may want to use in the future. Please come to us, let's discuss it. We help so many different companies to build the most innovative enterprise level solutions. So we definitely want to hear from you. And after this webinar, you will get access to our technology. We will share our demos with you so you can start using it today.
Fantastic. All right. So I would certainly like to thank Derek and Simeon for today's presentation. Excellent job, fellas. And certainly want to thank ABBYY Mobile Technologies, the sponsor of today's event. And of course, all our attendees who joined us today and hung in there for the entire presentation. Thanks, everybody. Once again, I'm Dave Rubenstein from SD Times. And until next time, so long.